So there we are. So really, the camera should be right there. And something more like that, or that, or this. So if you want to talk, you need to go to our second channel, Regular and Roman, which if I'm smart, I will put on post-it note. And we'll put that right there. Or no, you're not going to see that. It has to go on the screen itself. There it is. Let's see how long that will take. And do you think people will understand that you need to go to testing the mic, testing the mic, testing the mic right here. Okay? All right. So everybody saw it on Instagram. They are live on Instagram right now promoting our Christmas stream. I'm here with Remote, and my parents are in Florida right now. So my Christmas is at home right now. I do have a friend Christmas to go to later this evening. I'll be leaving around 4 p.m. But until then, I really don't have anything to do other than make short form content. Maybe I'll go to the gym and be that one weird guy who's at the gym on Christmas Day. But everything, I suppose I could just work ahead today and uploading other stuff. Or I could be here with you guys for everybody else who doesn't have any place to go during Christmas. Doesn't really feel like Christmas today because my parents and I had a small Christmas dinner last week before they left for Florida. My aunt, my mom's sister, is reaching the sort of end of life care, and they wanted to be down there in Florida. But you know how the YouTube game is. You have to keep your foot on the throttle the entire time. And oh well. And also, hello, Florida. I did one Christmas in Florida, and it just felt very, very, very strange. It was weird being warm, and also everything just felt off. So I guess growing up in colder climates, we do have snow on the ground outside. It feels at least a lot like a sort of natural Christmas that's going on. So it's interesting. We're streaming on two formats right now. You guys are YouTube. I'm looking at you right now. It's kind of small chat versus Instagram. The Instagram is just filming my computer screen over there with a post-it note saying YouTube Regular and Roman. And that chat is going nuts. Whereas the YouTube chat, not so much. Regular and Roman, the channel, is something where we just dump stuff on that isn't directly related to the channel. We did one live stream earlier this month, I believe on the 2nd, where it was over at Jim Schulman's house, the same place I'm going to tonight. But when I live streamed on my main channel, we lost 200 subscribers when we did that. So I'm very hesitant to live stream on the main channel. So probably what's going to happen is when the RCR podcast comes back, or more of these live streams come back, is it will be Patreon content. And then there will be there will be previews of the show that shows up on sort of like a trailer at the end of a main channel YouTube video. I'm open to ideas how to promote it, because the Regular and Friends, which will be the new podcast and the new live stream, will not be car related. Obviously, we'll talk about them, but it will be more just sort of like a general comedy podcast. So what we're going to do now is, for everybody here who's on Instagram, I don't really need this anymore. I can get rid of that, throw that away. Hopefully everybody from Instagram knows that that you're literally just seeing this. But what I really should be doing is answering questions. So I'm going to close that. I'm going to close Instagram. And then I owe it to a few people who are answering questions or asking questions. So we need to load up ads. What I need is just like a little iPad or something right here. Something that I don't have to squint to look at. Or a laptop or something like that. Henry Johnson doesn't have a question, but he says, Merry Crisis. Thank you so much. Happy Honda Days. Merry Christmas to everyone, says Michael. On my way, Simon says, on my way to a homophobic family Christmas and my partner, first time God saved me. Look, man, your job is to just disassociate the entire day, and that's it. I just got a text coming in from, let me just put the mic down for a second. We got a text here from man Justin Bernash. Justin Bernash said, hey, man, wanted to reach out and wish you Merry Christmas. Hope the family having a great one. Thanks, Justin. You too. By the way, how does the mic sound right now? What you're hearing is go buy yourself something nice. I am buying myself something nice, a house. So that's my big Christmas present to myself, is a house. Closing date is on the 30th. Right now, what you're hearing is this Shure microphone plugged into a mixing board, and then the headphone out on the mixing board is going to the DJI transmitter that's then being received by the DJI Osmo 3 that is going through USB into the computer. So it is a more streamlined way of making content. So but with 3 camera setups going to a mixer, they may be only feeding one audio source. That's it's gonna be different when we do the main thing. Car maintenance observations. Who would have thought that some parts, like a replacement clutch brake pad assembly from a S197 Mustang, aren't available from Ford? Yeah, who would have thought Ford didn't support stuff from like 20 years ago. I mean, Mustangs kind of like our Corvettes. They have to age. Actually, no. All Corvettes are supported throughout all years. Maybe not the C4. But I need more water. I don't have more water. Find, you know what I'm looking forward to? Not having a freezing cold kitchen in the new house. I have to keep this door closed because the kitchen isn't heated. It sucks. Just yesterday, a pipe burst in the basement. Doesn't really affect me anything. It just goes to the cold bathroom in the kitchen that I don't use in the wintertime. So, another super chat came in. Where's my phone? How do you like that? Oh, there it is. Thank you for the super chat. Says Gordon Rumsey, Merry Christmas to you and Roman. May it be full of joy and prosperity. Ever planning on returning to Toronto? Have no plans to return to Toronto, though. You guys are just right there. So what is it, a 6-hour drive? Not a big deal. I have no plans as of now. What my plan is to pay off the new house, not this house, but the new house, and to get the podcast and the Patreon going. That house, I want to be a factory that makes content and just expands regular car reviews into other segments. So that's what, and I'm also going to be around people as opposed to now I'm up here in Schuylkill County where I'm just lonely all the time and lonely on Christmas, but I got you guys here. I am going to a party later tonight, so it's not going to be a huge deal. It's just I'm doing this and being with you guys, so I have some kind of like Christmas morning to do stuff with you guys. So Riley Tesla says, how come I can't put metal in the microwave, but the microwave is made of metal? I'm sure there have been many. I should really just share that I'm doing this. Posting on Twitter, share, copy link, open blue sky, open blue sky, open blue sky, open blue sky, and post, paste. There it is, post to that. Good, great, okay. Lindsay Kimborough says, I am ever grateful you made a review of the late 70s Celica. That was my first car and had no idea how good I had it. Been a fan for years. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too. Yeah, I love that Celica. Shout out to Sarah Tuned, who is working on the 1J. Is it 1J or 2J? What am I talking about? 1J. 1UZ. The 1UZ swap Celica. That's a long project for her. I'm glad it's that the engagement is working out so well for her. What are your thoughts on the 1980s Saab 900 Turbo? Okay, that's like pretending. All right. Excuse me. Got to sneeze. The Saab 900 Turbo is like pretending the original Pac-Man is better than Miss Pac-Man. It's not. Yes, Saab was kind of the original turbo car in the 80s, but it really was Japan that made the better version of that. And by that, I mean, well, Toyota really didn't come into its turbo peak until the 90s. Who was making it? Was really Datsun, Nissan that was making good turbo stuff in the 80s. But Saab was really there first, perfecting it. But everybody remembers everybody remembers the remix and not the original. So we got some more Merry Christmas coming in. Thank you, William. Thank you, Simon. Thank you, Gordon. Chad covers his mouth while sneezing. Yeah, it took me a while to learn that. I think I didn't really learn that until after text from Justin Bernash. I didn't really learn that until probably freshman year in college. Because in high school, I just did things like the Joker. When I sneezed in high school, I just made a spectacle of it, and I would stick my tongue out as I sneezed, so it was like doing a raspberry and sneezing at the same time. Awesome. Um, Thoughts on Stellantis bringing back the V8? Look, I don't think you know how people say the US military doesn't know what it's doing, and because of that, the enemy really doesn't know what the US military is doing? I think of that as Stellantis. Did they really do they look like a company that has a plan? They just do things. Um, and they've always been that way, except when Iacocca was there cracking the whip. Sure, I mean, they obviously have fleet vehicles. They have versions of the Hemi. They're going to have to keep making V8s. Um, People tend to forget that uh, Stellantis's bread and butter is still their fleet vehicles. Yes, they have their sports cars, muscle cars, but really it's all the Rams, it's all the trucks and vans that are keeping the lights on. So, of course, they're going to keep making ICE engines. Do you think it's possible to keep in touch with and working with cars in an apartment? Sort of. The answer is sort of. Having to let go of my former Gambler 578 Thunderbird because I'm moving and I'm bummed as hell. So, okay, that's a classic. You keep a classic outside, it just disintegrates. So the short answer is no. If you're working on classic stuff, and you're in an apartment building, the answer is no. Sell the vehicle and use that energy to work on your career until you can finally move back into a house. That's the goal, or a townhouse, or someplace with a garage. That's what your goal is. Life is long. Um, Good afternoon, Brian. Does your house have any Ethernet lines? No. Uh, Twisted pair of phone lines or coaxial lines? I think there's coaxial cable. You can use any of those to build a LAN that you can use for expanding the channel's infrastructure. Yeah, I need help, and hopefully somebody within the Philadelphia crew knows how to do that sort of stuff. I would love to have Cat5 cable running throughout the house because it's a long house, uh, and there would be lots of material to punch through, and it's only a partial basement and partial slab. So yeah, I'm going to need help to get Cat5 cable throughout the house. I have to poop. um, I have to really go to the bathroom, and I did not plan on this. So what I need to do is make a post-it note, and or maybe I don't. Maybe okay, you can hear me on the little mic. Will YouTube have a problem with this? I don't know. Yeah. Will YouTube have a problem? Everybody wants to be free. Hope I don't get a copyright strike. Uh-oh. Here we go. It's time for speed weed. Maybe if I pop out the microphone, no one really knows what's going on. On a warm summer's evening on a train bound for nowhere, met with a gambler. We were too tired to sleep, so we took turns to stare out the window at the darkness. And the boredom overtook us, and he began to speak.
He said, "Son, I've made my life out of reading people's faces, knowing what the cards were by the way they held their eyes. And don't mind me saying, I can see around the faces for the taste of your whiskey or giving some advice. And something about his face losing all expression, and something know how to hold it, not to fold him. Swear to God, my wife took everything. And he gave me a smoke and a drink. I'm literally gonna die next to you on this train. Also, I'm gay." And somewhere in the darkness of the gambler, he broke even. And his final words, I found an ace that I could keep. And then I think Cumtown talked about this. Like, what happens at the end of the gambler? This guy just fucking dies right next to you on the train. And now you have to explain this to the porter or everybody else. Seriously. It's the dumbest story in the world next to Coward of the County. Uh-oh. Soon I will achieve my final form. Hey, it's the Cell Games, but it's just me taking a dump in the bushes. I'm Hercule, Mr. Satan. What was it in the show? Was it both Hercule or Mr. Satan? Or maybe that was just what it was in Japan. I forget. Uh-oh, more water. Time to wipe. Oh. Help. Help. Help me. Help me see. Uh-oh, it's time for church. Be quiet, be good. I'm a star. Wash your hands. New England clam chowder. I think one of the greatest characters ever made was Senor Cardgage. He'll say a word that's almost one thing, but not quite another. Blowing my nose in used washcloth. It cleaned my groin, now it cleans my nose. Coming back down. Down, 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 down. Okay, I'm back. Where's my phone? Oh no. As I age, the phone disappears. As I age, I rely on my peers. This sucks. I got it from why is it on top of the old computer? So we take the microphone off this, we plug it back into the mixing board.
And if all things go good, I'm Terry Gross. I'm Lakshmi Singh. Welcome to WHYY, your NPR news, your classical music and NPR news station. Turning up there we go. Turn up that compressor, make me gayer. You are listening to member-supported public radio. Everybody here is gay. Everybody here is cutting off their dicks and grafting them onto other people. Everybody here has ugly penises. Hello, Tony Airlines. Merry Christmas. Someone says, put on the fursuit. You got to pay me for that. That could be a thing, a funding goal. It's like $500 I'd put on the fursuit, which would be $250 for me, $250 for Nick. Justin Bernas says, thanks, man. Okay, since I can't read the computer screen from over there, reading it from my phone. Or that's something the old laptop could do. Laptop could just be a read the stream laptop. The one Kia says, if you want to put new cables in your house, use category 6 cable. It'll give you much higher ceiling throughout. What do you mean much higher ceiling? Data ceiling, reliability lasts longer. The coax can be used with MOCA. Don't know what MOCA is. Simon Saw says, require the fursuit. Yeah, just pay me. I'll put it on. Is he bragging about being gay again? I know that's right. Someone pay him. I'm broke. Yeah. It is 11:11 p.m. We have 5 hours to go until I need to drive down to Philly. Jason Tao says, hey, have you seen the 2025 Camry? It comes with 16-inch wheels. I love it. Sidewall. I can hear the driven rear wheels are not mechanically linked to the drivetrain. Only electric. Kind of dig that. Oh, interesting. So you got ICE driving the front and electric driving the rear. All right. That's cool. Category 6 cabling supports gigabit Ethernet, 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, 5 gigabit Ethernet, 10 gigabit. Okay. It also supports power over Ethernet. MOCA stands for Multimedia over Coax Alliance. Okay. So the one Kia, it sounds like what I need is like an advisor. What I want in the house is to have coaxial lines running from wherever the router is going to be. I believe, sorry. I believe that there, why can't I get rid of this phlegm? It just doesn't end. I've had it for a month. Ever since December 1st, I've had phlegm. It just doesn't go away. So what I need in the house is the living room, permanent streaming setup, like a studio. In my office, I need stuff to upload video quickly. I'd like to be able to have, Cat 6 in there. Then my roommates deserve probably a Cat 6 line as well. So I don't know who to call. Do I call an electrician for that? Do I call... I don't even know is there an equivalent for an IT person that comes to your house that wires this all up? I don't know how to do home repairs. I know how to repair stuff on a car. I know what fishing cable means, but I don't know how to do it. Lake Soup says, sounds like what you want to do could be accomplished with a spool of Cat 6, a few wall plates, a router, and a couple of switches. Okay, I think I know what you mean by switches. And wall plates just mean... Right, but the house was built in the 70s. How do you get... Veraz and Douglas seems like they're bullshitting me. What Wi-Fi company are you using? Yeah, that's a non-question. I don't know. The one Kia says, do not call an electrician. You'll need to find low voltage structured cabling specialist who understands how to install data wiring and cabling. An electrician will mess it up. Nice little super chat from Bob. Says, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too. Thank you. Wi-Fi password right now. Yeah, right. That's the thing. It's an old house that complicates things. Yeah, a house built in the 70s. It's not like, well, when I was looking for a house, I knew I didn't want new construction because people are just slapping houses together left and right now. I am not opposed to just running Ethernet cable along the ceiling. I don't care. You can do that if you want. Yeah. What do you think Honda would do with Nissan if they got bought out? So I thought that deal went through, like Honda is absorbing Nissan, or Honda's going to be the custodian of Nissan. I worry that it will be similar to what happened with Daimler Chrysler, the Daimler Chrysler merger, because it didn't really help Chrysler, and all it did was hurt Mercedes. So there are helpful partnerships and sharing, such as Ford and Ford and Mazda. But I worry that this merger isn't going to help Nissan, and it's only going to hurt Honda. Tomo Kun says, also the grid needs a lot of work too. Not sure what you're referring to. I want to see you review one of those Can-Am three-wheelers, and I think I've caught a brain rot, and they're cool. Yeah, supposedly those things don't really ride like motorcycles. They ride like snowmobiles. And you don't lean into corners. You just sort of push left and right. And that's how you steer it like a power. Like, no, that's not a Power Wheels. It's a big wheel. Fisher-Price big wheel. Leak Soup says, here in my home in Ireland, I just pulled cable through the voids, crawl spaces in the attic, drilled a couple holes in the walls where necessary. All right. Veron Douglas says, I'm starting to believe the coughing you do in your videos isn't fake. No, the coughing I do in the videos is fake. It's but lately, for the past month, I've had phlegm in my throat all the time. I have a cough drop in my mouth. It's not doing anything. I blow my nose. Nothing comes out. It's just phlegm constantly. And I'm constantly clearing my throat. I mean, I got sick earlier this month. I did pop positive for COVID. My first time, by the way. And it sucked. It felt like a cold that I had when I was a kid. I wasn't really prepared for the brain rot. It was difficult to concentrate on things, but I don't know if that was always the case when you were cold with a little kid, because what do you do when you're sick home from school? Like legit sick, not, I don't want to go to school today. Like legit sick home from school. There is no thought. You can barely watch TV. When you're a little kid, you just sit and wallow in a pool of mucus and vomit. That's what being sick was when you were a little kid, and getting COVID wasn't as bad as that. It wasn't like the flu where you just vomit, you can't eat. It's just, you feel run down and crap. Now I'm a healthy guy, so your experience may vary. Ducky Diddle says, same here, caught COVID at MFF for the first time. Yeah. Am I ever, someone asked a while ago, like, are you going, did you go to Midwest Fur Fest? Like, I went there once, 2019. I was there 2019, briefly met the odd one out, but I was wearing remote at the time. And that was it. Like, pretty much all I did was I fursuited at Midwest, and that was it. I had lunch with my friend Mike, and I think breakfast once, but that was it. It was just get into suit, get clean, go out, get some food, get back in suit. Like, I was in suit like 2 to 3 times a day, and that was it. And then I went home. So, and I don't know if I do Midwest again, because starting next month, everything I do will be directed at Cross Country Mortgage to get the house paid off. So there's going to be no extravagant trips. There's going to be nothing. I'm open to doing more giveaways if they're appropriate. I'm going to say yes to whatever sponsor wants to give me money. In a very Dave Ramsey way, every single bit of cash I have is just going to be thrown at the house. Did you pass the test from the InstaStream? Oh, yeah, I did. I passed the test, so I get a mortgage. Awesome. Tony says, I think I'm over Midwest Fur Fest. Between the $1,000 hotel rooms, the long walks to the main hotel, as well as limited food options, it's feeling mid to me. Yeah, it's totally mid. It almost feels like the way to do, if I ever do Midwest Fur Fest, it would be just to do Crazy Taxi. But at the same time, I'd be worrying that someone would break into or slash the roof of my classic car in the big parking garages. So, yeah, I don't want to. I'm not going to do Anthrocon in 2025 again because house and because doing AC is fun because the whole town is the convention. But I tried doing Crazy Taxi there, and it did come off well, but I need an electric fan because Pittsburgh is not a car-friendly city. So, BRB, time to open presents. Have a good morning, Michael. Tony Kuhn says facts. Peter Butler says, I can only watch The Price is Right when I'm sick. I don't know if it's just comfort TV or conditioning. It's probably, yeah. It definitely is comfort TV. And the only time you get to see it as a kid is during the week in the middle of the day when you're sick. So that was it, being able to watch that. I didn't get to go to my normal dentist recently. I had to go to a different one because he was away on vacation. And I went to this other dentist, and they had, I don't know what channel it was. It was something on Hulu or whatever smart TV they had bolted to the wall of the dentist's office was playing classic Price is Right from the 80s. And I was all on board with this. But there was also some disassociating and dementia-ridden boomers in the office, in the waiting room. And they're like, oh, is this The Price is Right? And it was as if they didn't know. This was, it's a svelte and young Bob Barker. They're giving away like an 82 Fox body Mustang. It's like, the prices are all tiny. Like, are you, do you not know? And I suppose the preoccupation with that is that we're all going to end up that way. Eventually, the calcification will begin in our brains, and the past and the present will become fluid, and it'll happen to all of us. Nismo Freak says Midwest died when Hoffenhaus closed down. Never went there. Tony went there, got his ass spanked and everything. B says, Merry Christmas, Brian. How can Nissan afford to keep Infiniti around? Because Karens want to think they're rich. And you always sell Infinitis that way. Thoughts on the Alfa Romeo Giulia? Have never heard your thoughts or your review one. Well, it's funny you mentioned that. We did film one. One's in the can, ready to be edited. And I went into that film shoot for the Giulia wanting to hate it, wanting to hate this car. And I didn't. It was a fun sports sedan. It had a personality. I wouldn't want to own one. When I saw that changing the timing belt will cost $5,000 in labor to get at it because it is deep down in there. Both throttle bodies have to come off to get to, I don't know if even the turbos have to come off, maybe. Throttle bodies at least have to come off to get to the accessory belt. Did I say timing belt? No, I just meant the drive belt, the accessory belts. Either it's one or it's a bunch of them. I forget. You could barely even see them. And that's from a longitudinal engine. Any thoughts on what is the best sleeper sedan one can get for under $20,000? Easy. The Buick Regal GS, the one with the supercharged V6. That's the best sleeper you can get. Now, it's not, I don't even think it's 300 horsepower, but it moves quicker than you think it is. You could also say the Kia Niro, the EV version of the Niro that I have. It's sort of a sleeper because people think it's a gas car, but it's secretly electric. And you have almost 300 foot-pounds of torque anytime you want it. Owen with the deep pull says, happy December, Ween Brian. Hope you come to Florida. Funny you mentioned Florida because that's where my parents are now. That's why I'm home on Christmas. My parents went down to go visit the extended family who, like all good boomers, moved to Florida. I think it's a combination of this is what dumb people think nice weather is. And also Florida doesn't have state income tax, so you avoid that. When I think of Florida, it feels like one big strip mall. The only town in Florida that I've been to that feels like it has any sort of identity is St. Augustine. I mean, maybe Miami, but I don't know. Jacksonville feels like a smaller Atlanta. That's what Jacksonville feels like to me. Then there's Didn't Whirl, where everybody with knee braces and compression socks goes. Then there's the Everglades. Never been out to the Panhandle. So my family's down there right now. That's why I'm home. Porcupine Punt says, I was helping my friend change the front wheel bearings, tie rod ends, control arms on my friend's 2004 North Dakota G35. I will never trust Nissan with rust proofing again. No. Orrin says, my Tampa area got wrecked by Helene and Milton. I do not trust the used car market right now. Yeah, you got to make sure anywhere you go, what you get isn't a Florida flood car. What do you think of the new to come Honda Prelude? Is that an EV? Is the new Honda Prelude an EV? Starlight says Alpha also has problems with rust. I've seen basically new ones with bad rot. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It feels like it's just more like Stellantis style or Dodge style. Let me just see how hot this guy's getting. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. This is seriously burning up. The DJI Osmo 3, after streaming for a while, after 40 minutes, the gimbal is hot. The screen is warm. There is a lot of voltage going through this. Oh my goodness, the neck of this. This is going to cause problems with the capacitors. Okay. Using a DJI Osmo 3 as a webcam is not going to work. It's going to burn itself up doing this. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah, we got to stop this. I'm going to hurt my best camera. Sorry, guys. I need to turn this off. There is no way that keeping the Osmo 3 this hot for this long. Oh my goodness. It is good for it. Yeah, this is bad. All right. So I'm going to make a quick thing here for Instagram to tell other people. It's going to be a quick short here that you're going to see me do live. Okay, this is a video for Instagram warning you about the DJI Osmo 3, using it as a webcam. Even though you can do it, and I'm using it right now, this thing is burning hot. The gimbal is hot, the arm is hot, everything about this. This has been going for 40 minutes. I don't think this is built for this. This is going to cause whatever capacitors in here to swell and burst. I think using a DJI Osmo 3 as a webcam is only sort of like a novelty, and probably shouldn't be something you do like a dedicated thing, because it's keeping the screen on, which is warm, but it keeps sending power to the gimbal. And normally when you're outside, maybe this thing's moving around, it's getting airflow. But here inside, this thing is hotter than a GoPro. I wish I had a thermal camera to show you how hot this is. Is the camera body itself hot? Yeah, that's hot. Yeah. I don't, as of right now, unless we hear anything from DJI, I don't think using the Osmo as a webcam is something that's sustainable. Yeah. Something says it's for going skiing and snowboarding where you got cool air moving. Yeah. Mark also said, glad I caught this. Heat's got to go somewhere. Yeah. Osmo 3 is a lot of camera in a small space. Yeah. All right. All right. To save the camera, I'm about to shut it off here. Thanks for joining us. We're going to try this again with a different camera. Bye.